Oh my goodness. Hello and welcome to another episode of Good Fat Life. And my head feels like it's going to pop off. There's just so much cool stuff happening, right? So I just want to first bring your attention to our magazine. Go to goodfatlife.com and check us out. We have the beautiful print copy, and then there's also a digital copy for those of you who prefer to read your stuff on your tablets or phone. And we've got a seminar, no, not a seminar, a workshop coming up. More Wonder, Please Fall in Love with Yourself. And Carolyn LePan, my guest today, is going to be speaking. I wouldn't even say speaking because nobody gets lectured to, right? It's not like a presentation.
Right.
We have a very active, engaged discussion on topics that affect all of us. And one of them is that we're going to talk about today is protein. Our country, I don't know if it's just our country or people in the world are protein deficient, and it creates all kind of havoc, right?
It does. I think it's around the world. I mean, it's definitely prominent here in the U.S. for sure. But yeah, it can lead to health issues if we don't pay attention to balancing our macros. So definitely protein is a key.
Right. And so when we started Good Fat Life, obviously it was a good fat life, right? And while fat is important, it's a critical component. It's one of three components. And so let's talk about protein. Just full disclosure, Carolyn is my functional nutritionist, and we've been working together for 2 years now?
Mm-hmm.
And I am one of those people that my brain says, okay, I want to do that. And then my body and my lifestyle says, well, maybe. We're going to try. So it's a process. But once I get it. It becomes a way of life. And so I'm not stressed by it. I'm just always like, every day is a new day. And I'm going to do my best to get it right today. Daily goal right now is to get protein, adequate protein, to be just a way of being. Mm-hmm. Why is it such a challenge, Carolyn?
Right. Well, you bring up a really good point about just wanting to change. And you're a perfect example of doing this in pieces, because this is a big deal, right? We're changing habits. We're changing lifestyle. So for you, we talked about gluten-free, which was, really helpful. Right. Then we moved on to the continuous glucose monitor, which has been really helpful. And your blood work has reflected benefits from that. So now we're moving on to protein. And I just wanted to...
And water. Don't forget, I got my water.
Always water. I wanted to just call that out, because when you talk about being ready, a lot of times people just want to do everything at once.
Oh, okay.
And so yes, let's talk about protein. And I'm reading a book now. It's Gabrielle Lyons. I don't know if you've heard of her, but she's very big into longevity and muscle growth, especially in women. And she's a medical doctor. And in her book, she was doing a residency in a geriatric and obesity clinic. And her realization from that was, you're dealing, with people that have all this weight on them and all these health issues as a result. So maybe the problem isn't there's too much weight. Maybe the problem is there's not enough muscle.
Ah, okay.
So,
all right.
Yeah.
So it's flipping the whole idea of how you were approaching.
Yes. It's a very new, kind of concept. And so I found that fascinating. And to me, in my head, that makes a lot of sense, because, we can get into the benefits of having, more muscle in our body. But I just want to address your original question of why is it such a challenge. There's a lot of things we can do. So one of them is figuring out how much protein, how many grams are in our favorite foods, right? So we can incorporate that. We can do meal planning. We can do protein shakes. We can do, there's a lot of different things that's available out there that can be convenient with protein. But by default, I think what most people are used to is the convenience of the high processed foods, the high sugary foods. that don't fill us up, and then we eat more, whereas protein can really fill you up and keep your blood sugar level.
I mean, I've been looking at that, like an egg. I love eggs, right? So, but an egg's got 6 grams of protein.
Right.
Right. And for me, so much of it is having food that's quick and easy.
Right.
Quick and easy to go, and switching. I mean, cheese was yum. So I'm like hardly eating any dairy since I did the detox. I just have not added much dairy back. Hasn't really affected my weight at all. And I am doing my best to log into my MyFitnessPal, which is helpful.
Right.
It's a pain in the butt, but it is helpful. I upgraded so I could get the scanner,
Okay.
which helps, right? But it's still a challenge to log in every day. But I'm getting there. I'm like on day 875 on my French, doing French every day. So I know it's possible, right? I'm trying to link them together. French, MyFitnessPal.
Yeah. It's hard. Journaling is hard for people. I mean, from a food journal perspective.
Yeah.
Because I remember when we started, I asked you to do it because it helps me to know, okay, where is this person starting from? And you gave me a piece of paper with some scribble. I'm like, okay, that's fine.
We start where we are, right?
Yeah, that's fine. We'll work with it. And so, yeah, through our work together, we've talked about different apps. I mean, there's an app for everything. So this is the one that works for you. That's,
It
helping. Because when you can
Yeah.
see it, so many people don't realize, wow, I'm so protein deficient. Wow, I have so much sugar, on a daily basis. We really don't know that until we can see the numbers.
Exactly. And so it's worth doing. I get that and I'm data driven, and so it's worth doing. And I also realize that, like with cheese, while I'm getting good protein, I'm also getting a lot of fat. And so to have those macros be balanced for where you think it would be optimal for me, I need less fat and more protein. So anyways, so it's a challenge. And then I was reading about the absorption of protein. It's like there's a difference between plant and animal protein. And so can you talk about that? Because I'm a little confused on that one.
Yeah, a lot of it, when I make a recommendation, I look at the person's digestive health. So that's kind of, as you know, my kind of core is gut health.
Right.
Whey protein is often recommended because it's easily absorbed and easy on the digestive system. Plant protein, animal are both very good. The only thing to remember with the animal protein is just that, just picture from a mechanical standpoint, your body trying to break that down. So there's benefits. There's a lot of B12 in red meat that, our body needs. And if people are vegetarian, vegan, then I would recommend that they supplement with that. But I would say from an absorption rate, whey protein would be best. And then plant, you can probably do a workout shortly after having plant protein. But the animal protein, I would wait a little bit just because it's heavier. And if people have digestive issues about 2 hours after they eat, what that tells me is that that's about the time where it's getting into your small intestine. So your stomach is pretty much emptied by that point. It's in your small intestines. If you're having some digestive issues, some cramping and things, that tells me you had too much protein, because that's where the breakdown happens, is in the small intestines, mostly for protein.
Okay, so like, as you know, I go to Pilates, right? So and I remember when I used to go to the gym, I did actually used to go to the gym in the morning before work, but we would then have the workout and the weights and the cardio, and then we'd have a smoothie. Right. A high protein shake, no sugar, low sugar, and that was the protocol. I mean, and I felt great.
Yeah.
Except for having to get up at 5 a.m. But so is that the thing that you should do, is like have the workout, and then when you get home or are done, have a plant-based, a whey-based smoothie?
I would say, if we're going to back that up, And again, it depends on the type of workout, but if you're doing a cardio intensive workout, I would recommend having some carbs in the morning. If it's half a bagel with some peanut butter or something like that, a little bit of protein on it. And then doing the workout and then having the protein afterwards, because really that's when you're repairing your muscles, right? When you're exercising, you're making small tears in the muscles, and that's what causes the soreness the next day. So drink your water. And I'm a fan of electrolytes as well. When you talk about like the different types of protein, you could have a smoothie afterwards. Absolutely. Some people,
but not a high sugar smoothie.
Correct. Yes.
Protein. Yeah. Because all smoothies are not created equal.
100%. Thank you for pointing that out. Yes.
It just makes me crazy when people are like, oh, I had a smoothie, or here's this so healthy. And you look at it and it's just like pure sugar,
which causes inflammation.
Right.
So if you're drinking that and putting that in your body after a workout, I mean, it's just kind of counter. Yeah. Right.
Okay. So, but getting back to protein. So one of the things that I have been doing is adding it's a whey protein to a drink, like just to water. I've actually just been adding it to water, like 2 scoops. So that's 20 extra grams of protein that I've been drinking kind of in the mid-morning. And it's just like, do you have other kind of tricks and tips to bump up to that 100 grams?
I do. I actually brought some notes.
Oh, there you go.
So this could be just, some common foods. So chicken breast, 3 ounces, that's 26 grams.
Okay, that's easy enough, right?
Turkey's the same. Salmon's 3 ounces is about 21 to 22 grams. An egg, like you said, is about 6. So if you have 2 eggs in the morning. Greek yogurt is 15 to 20 grams. I put some chia seeds in that because that adds protein.
Does it? I love chia pudding. Mm-hmm. And that yogurt is delicious.
Yeah.
It's so easy too.
So if you have yogurt with chia seeds in it for breakfast, maybe if you can do salmon for lunch and chicken with like black beans, that's 100. And maybe a snack like a hard-boiled egg, that's 100 right there.
Oh, okay. Or like those protein powder shakes.
Mm-hmm.
That I do.
Or that, I didn't even mention.
All right, that's easy enough.
I didn't even mention a shake in there, but that's kind of how I approach it, how I think about my day. And, I just bought from the local grocery store a pre-made chicken Cobb salad that was just easy to go because I don't always have time to cook up a chicken breast at lunch. I mean, that's just to be real about it. So that's why at the beginning I mentioned meal prep, which can just, once people start doing that, they're like, wow, it's such a time saver. And you don't, when you're tired, when you're hungry, when you're cranky, I mean, how many people eat a well-balanced, low glycemic meal? It's like, no, just having that stuff at the go and the ready, or a protein shake you can grab, or a hard-boiled egg you can grab, or, something like that.
Well, and one of the things we do, Bob and I both love, is tuna fish. Mm-hmm. Like the really high quality tuna fish in the can. It's delicious.
Yeah.
Right? And so I forget how much, maybe 20 grams of protein is in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's easy to kind of just eat. I just eat it out of the can.
Yeah.
Right? But
I make very simple tuna macaroni salad with that. And my daughter loves it. She's a very picky eater, but she loves it. So
that sounds amazing.
Actually, I'll share it with you.
Okay. Have to be gluten-free.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, it is.
Okay. All right. Well, you're making it sound so much easier. Maybe I just make it more. No. Yes, I can make things more difficult, but I think part of it, it's not intentional. It's just because there's these habits and ways of being that, like you said, I'm not prepared to grab that. I don't have that yogurt handy. Mm-hmm. Or the eggs handy. Or the chicken, or the what about steak? Mm-hmm. Is that
so good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. We have that at our house. And like I said, that has the B12 in it too, which is which is great for your digestive system.
Okay. All right. Well, and I appreciate the comment about the clarification about plant versus animal, because there's so much written about stuff that's just controversial.
Right.
And you just go, my head's spinning off and I want to run screaming out of the room.
And you know what? Here's what I say to that is, from a healthcare perspective, everyone knows exercise is important. So I'm linking exercise and muscles together here, which includes protein. No one will dispute that. There is all these other disputes of like, is, are carbs good or bad? Are eggs good or bad? Are tomato? Right. I mean, there's just all this controversy, but exercise, movement, muscle, I mean, as we age, so now kind of talking about hormones, which is another area that I work with people on. So as we age, our hormones decrease and our testosterone goes down, our estrogen goes down, and those are both very key for muscle growth. So if we don't have those hormones circulating in our system, then we can externally activate those muscles through movement and exercise. As we grow older, if we don't take a proactive stance on this and we're losing, like you maybe have heard the statistic of 10% muscle every year.
That's freaky.
It's a lot.
That's fast.
Yeah. And I have a chart at home I'll share with you, and maybe we could pin it to this podcast, but it talks about, you start to lose balance, and then the next 10% you lose the inability, healing. If, then you have, trouble sitting, and then just with all these things, you become less and less active, right? And so with that, your muscles get weaker and weaker. So it just can be like this cycle. So we have to be proactive.
Help me understand. Protein, when you eat it, gives you energy, gives you muscle strength. I mean, what does it actually do that helps slow down that cycle?
Right. So
or that degeneration.
Yeah. So when we talk about like our macros, so carbs break down into glucose,
right?
And fats break down into fatty acids, which is, great for cellular health, our brain, all these things. So protein, the third macro, breaks down into amino acids. And so amino acids is what our muscles love. So that's what feeds them. That's what repairs them. That's what keeps them healthy. We have insulin receptors on our muscle cells. Like blood sugar is really closely tied with protein and muscle strength. So when I recommended to you take a walk after you eat, because I want your large muscle groups moving. I want your quads moving. I want your, leg muscles, glutes. Those are big muscles. So that gets the blood sugar out of your blood and into the muscles. And so you're burning it. So I'm addressing your blood sugar at that point, helping circulation at that point, keeping muscles moving, and getting those amino acids, back to your question about from food.
It gets into your muscles?
It gets into your muscles, okay. And that's what helps them.
And that just helps them
maintain and repair. Yes.
Okay. All right. So eating a proper, because it's an epidemic in our country, especially with older people, getting enough protein. That's why you see those Ensure commercials.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I love that you didn't say old. You said older, because we're just getting older, not old. So eating the protein and then combined with moving is what builds strength or keeps us strong.
Right.
But without that protein, then our muscles don't get what they need. And so then they just, they're more prone to break down faster.
Well said.
Okay, I get it. You made it easy. Okay, good. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
For clarifying. We will, and I am asking our viewers to check out goodfatlife.com. And there's just, like I said, there's so much going on. This workshop coming up. We have new blog posts, lots of energy around the new magazine coming out. And it's just things are like growing exponentially in the best of ways. And I so appreciate you being here and putting up with me.
Oh, no, I love being here. Thank you it's my pleasure to be here. And I love what you do and what you're sharing out in the world. And so happy to be a part of it.
We just kind of do our best, right? And show up. And Good Fat Life, a big component of Good Fat Life is on self-care, right? It's on taking amazing care of ourselves, exquisite care of ourselves, as one of my friends likes to say. And that said, so one of the things I love to do is go to Hands-On Health. And I used to have to go, because I was in such agony and pain, and it was very acute. And now I go preventative because I've been moving so much more that my spine is actually lengthening. And I don't need to go because I'm in pain. I go because they keep me aligned and feeling good, and so I can show up and do the things that I need to do. And they have an amazing attitude there, and you always feel better than you walked in. You walking out, you always feel better than walking in, right?
My husband goes there and he echoes the same. He really has had a great experience there too.
Amazing people, but you can just tell they love what they do, and they are so who they are revolves around helping you be your best self. And who doesn't, that's part of self-care, is surrounding ourselves with amazing humans, right? So check out Hands-On Health Chiropractic here in Brighton, Michigan. On that happy note, I will say goodbye for now, and let's go out and live our good fat lives.
Let's go.
Okay. All right.